you quite finished?
Already off to a good start, the first thing I see is an old friend.
Hello there.
Beginning the campaign, we find ourselves aboard the Invincible Faith.
My best technicians are your droid right now.
Suddenly, I'm extremely excited for this game.
VZ 626.
What have we here? An ID-10 tactical droid. You're way more advanced than the ID-9. You is not gonna be easy.
I suggest a less invasive procedure.
Wish I could, but we don't have the droid.
Safe word.
Might I suggest finding
Safe word.
The captain's working on that in the center. Until then, the only way to this droid is to the memory core out of its
analysis shows this ID.
Not.
After embarrassing myself, I finish what he started.
Not.
Having some trouble making my way through the vents and experiencing my first of many deaths, I eventually found myself. Shackles free and mentally preparing for slaughter, I use my superior skills as an ex-army soldier to quietly take these dudes out.
Aware of the beacon directing Alliance ships to the Galan system. It's a trap.
From here on, I begin my bloody rampage through the ship.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
Heroically fighting my way through the ship, I was met with more resistance than anticipated. Smoke and screams filling the air, the deaths began piling up. Never disheartened, I picked my rifle back up and continued burning holes through rebel scum brain.
Agent Hask, I'm in position.
Understood.
I do have to admit, this was pretty cool.
3, 2, 1.
Next, my following assignment took me to Endor.
Let's do this.
Tasked out to safeguard the shield bunker, we would give all we had to defend this most critical piece of the defensive system. I knew it was time to unleash the beast and turn on the sweat.
Commander, rebel reinforcements inbound.
Play of the game.
Never missing a shot, the rebels stood no chance. It was impossible we would fail our Emperor.
That's Scum once and for all.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Having failed our Emperor, and with the destruction of the Death Star, my soldiers begin to question my leadership, so I'm forced to put them in their place.
Permission to speak freely.
Granted.
I know we're a lone item, but that sounded treasonous.
Forced into a retreat, we made our way to the nearest Imperial hangar, desperately fighting our way to rejoin our comrades in space, while also suffering a few more deaths.
Still with us, Commander?
Starfighter secured. See you up there, Agent.
Having escaped Endor with the Death Star gone, the Emperor dead, and my mutinous team following me, I can't help but wonder where the Empire will go from here. Once on Fondor? Sounds kind of stupid. They're running out of names. We were attacked by the rebels. Ion torpedoes and plasma bolts hit the outer hull, sending fellow troopers crashing to the ground as they struggle to find their footing. Sure of foot, I rushed to my TIE fighter, ready to take the fight to the enemy.
Keep this Star Destroyer safe. The rebels can't learn about Operation Cinder.
Although I fly out in formation like a true professional, I think of my time spent at the Shiv Palpatine TIE Fighter Academy for disabled pilots and realize I should have paid more attention.
This is Mock 3.
Finally, I managed to quietly sneak onto the enemy ship. I'm also obligated to share this one death. Alright, look at this. You would think that after a hit like this, you would have at least a couple broken bones. But no. Like the fucking Terminator, she stands up. I also kind of embarrassed myself again.
Inferno has clearance to access one of the Emperor's classified observatories buried on the planet Pilio.
Little did I know that on Pilio I would find a wise man, also quite strange, yet also sexy.
You of all people should know, there's plenty wrong with me.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Are you lost, baby?
I'm not blind. I know what the Empire is capable of, but what else is there?
Hamburger. Hamburger. Hamburger.
The Admiral needs us to extract an Imperial ally on my home world of Vardos.
And just like that, we were off to Vardos. It is here that my life would change forever.
We'll find Protectorate Gleb in the archive. Follow me.
I look around and take in all the details, happy to be home. An AT-AT in its natural habitat flies above me, high above the city. My old friend Larry guards the gate to my childhood home. I soak it all up. The freezing cold rain, howling winds, and depressing clouds. It's just as cozy as I remember. I remind myself I'm on a rescue mission, and I get focused. An easy VIP extract. Until the same treasonous team member steps out of hand.
This is the new Empire.
I do what I must.
Yes.
I'm Versio.
The traitor lies to my father.
Commander Versio. And Agent Miko have abandoned the mission. They've committed treason.
He lies and calls me the betrayer.
I will take care of the traitors.
I have one choice.
Open fire!
Run.
Down the anti-air cannons.
Another task that I fail. I'm gonna be honest, I totally thought that I could safely jump over this ledge. Alright, I swear to God that this grenade was glitched because it sat there for so damn long before deciding to blind me.
Enemy heavy weapons ahead! You heard the commander! Move! Commander, go!
Ramp is down. You're clear to board, Commander. Everyone inside, now!
Sadly, I realize this is the last time that I'll see my home. In tears, I wonder if Billy from 2nd grade still remembers the bubblegum that we shared. Narrowly escaping, we turn to old enemies for help.
This is Iden Versio of the Imperial Raider Corvus. Sending a general distress call to the Rebel Alliance. We surrender.
This man right here is a literal god. And I have footage of that I'll show you in a minute.
Let's take a walk.
Alright, I want you to pay attention to this man's ass. Do you see the way that his arm goes through his cape? I knew there was something more. A hidden power, if you will. Put a pin in that, and we'll come back to that later.
This is a one-time deal. You can leave right now, or you can help stop this.
And just like that, we were traitors. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh god, another flying section for Defy. Don't even worry, this is so much easier. I remembered how to fly. Don't even worry about it. Anyways, the battle took us to the capital city of Theed. Oh, more flying AT-ATs.
Danger, leader. Four of us will have
Now I have to admit, for whatever reason, I was not having a good time with Leia. But what I can say is that besides a few more debatable deaths, I would be faced with unimaginable odds and the opportunity to make the greatest last stand in history.
We just need to buy time!
With nowhere else to turn, we did what we had to do. If we couldn't have it,
Shields up!
nobody could. After decimating the local population, we were then tasked out to find an old ally.
Senator Organa, it's been a while.
I need you to find Han Solo.
And not gonna lie, I was a little surprised. Han Solo was kind of a douche.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get me a bath. Then I'm gonna get drunk. Then I'm gonna catch me a whore with great big tits. Then I'm gonna get drunk again.
Just listen to this guy.
Would you like Han Solo?
Dumbass.
I'm Imperial Specialist Ralcius Paldora. It is a pleasure to
I ought to kill
finally
you right
meet
now.
Unfortunately, it turned out he was being followed by the Empire. Thankfully, he was kind of having a bad day.
I am the best goddamn pilot you're ever gonna meet!
Tits.
Hey!
Also, look at just how close I got to death on this part. I just thought it was pretty cool.
Inferno Squad is here to help.
You want to talk to God? Let's go see him together.
You know how a woman gets a man excited? She shows up. That's it. We're guys. We're easy. Of course, for that, you can't charge $6 an issue.
A true role model.
We can't have an Imperial Admiral out there reinforcing the fleet, can we?
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Now having acquired the douche, we made our way for Bespin, where we would utilize espionage to quietly sabotage our next target. Although I wasn't quite skilled at espionage, so we instead resorted to my number one alternative, dying. Over.
Look out! Run, Death! Get off the platform!
And over. And over again. Angered by my failures, I was consumed by rage. My bloodlust immense, there was no stopping me. The butt of my rifle obliterating plastic and bone. Turning my rifle on great machines. In my rage, I was humbled by this trooper, who made me feel really badly about my aim. Forced to improvise in my genius, I devised a foolproof plan to fly aboard our target, using the equivalent of a clown car. A plan so ludicrously stupid it was foolproof. What I didn't know was that this particular cloud car had one of the Empire's experimental extreme speed warp drive dimension hopper engines. Elsewhere on Sullust, the god trapped in human form, Lando Calrissian, moves to wipe out an Imperial factory.
One strike team, we'll be fine.
And if it's not?
Hello, motherfucker.
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Now remember earlier in the video when I told you that Lando was a god? Here we see the true power of his swagger. I think it had to do with him knowing that he was being controlled by a mere mortal in a video game. It began with him phasing through his cape and turned into so much more. Afraid for my life, I tried restarting the level, hoping to avoid his attention. That only angered him more. In his unbridled rage, he began to levitate. Soon he was miles off the ground. Eventually, he descended, ready to unleash his fury. With an arch in his back, the bent of the knee.
Each ass clap shook the planet.
Satisfied with the blood of the innocents, Lando relaxed and allowed me to continue with the mission. Unfortunately, the clap of his ass cheeks made it a bit difficult to sneak into the factory. So instead, he decided on a straightforward approach. Once we were in the factory,
Climb into this cockpit.
I feel compelled to tell the audience that Lando began to act a little sus.
Hey, can you move? Your is in my...
I know. Come on, you and me back in action? Tell me you don't miss this.
I absolutely do not miss this.
Once he got what he wanted, Lando went on with the mission, taking a break from his disgusting habits only long enough to sabotage the lava control center.
Shriv, I could kiss you.
Unfortunately for Shriv, he immediately resorted back to harassment.
Move over so I can... Wait.
After assaulting Shriv, his next move was to escape with the ATST. Little did he know what happened next was pre-planned by all of us at the Rebel HQ. In his arrogance, Lando allowed his guard to drop just long enough so that we could get on with the true plan. His power had kept us all in check for too long, and in his moment of complacency, we ended his reign of terror. With Lando out of the picture, we were able to continue with the final phase of our master plan, the complete decimation of the planet Jakku. The planetary defenses sprung into action, destroying the ship I flew in on. It was thanks to sheer luck that I was able to escape. Landing near some friendlies, I was handed an orbital bombardment laser and told not to fire too close to our fighters. They shouldn't have been so close to the machines trying to attack us. I called them danger close and pulled the trigger. I'd answer for my actions later, but now, just like the soldiers on D-Day, I'd make sure none of these troopers escaped their ship.
Still with us, Commander? Can we talk about that orbital strike thing first?
I ran, knowing my superiors wouldn't understand my actions. Having now committed war crimes, I needed a place to hide. I landed, only to find that more troopers had beaten me to my hiding place.
Good. Stay close. Wait until I open fire.
Thankfully, they were all idiots. Staying true to my Terminator nature, I killed them all, while also eating a rocket. My hidey hole had been compromised, so I decided no more hiding. I would take their command ship from them. Narrowly surviving, I knew once I had solid footing that the ship was mine.
Close one.
I decided I would show mercy to the captain, I offered to spare his life.
Admiral, the Empire's time has come. You don't have to go down with it.
I politely decline.
So I left. Alright, in all seriousness, apparently throughout this game, they had been leading up to a romance between Del and this chick. I gotta be honest, and this kind of took me by surprise because if you've actually played through the game, this does not feel natural at all. If anything, this is fraternization. Seriously though, this romance is as shoehorned into the game as much as Rose Tico and Finn in The Last Jedi. Just look at his stupid face. It's so dumb. Anyways, we gazed upon our work and fell ever more in love, looking at the devastation we brought to the planet. The end. Or was it? It wasn't. It wasn't. There was more to the game. Decades later, we enter the last chapter of our playthrough. Surprisingly, we open up on Kylo Ren, and sadly we see that my boyfriend has been lured into Kylo's love dungeon. For those of you that didn't know, Kylo is gifted with a slow touch, one that seduces a man and drives him insane with pleasure. Here we see that's exactly the fate that has befallen my boyfriend.
You know I can take whatever I want.
Absolutely disgusted by the mess in front of him, a kind officer gently puts Del to sleep. Admittedly a little overkill, but necessary, I'm sure. Elsewhere in the galaxy, I'm not sure who Kiara is, but my daughter and I are trespassing through her comet cluster.
Say, when I said we could practice maneuvers, this is not what I had in mind.
It'll be fine, Mom. Quit being such an
That comment hurts my feelings, so I return back to the ship where it turns out, as the audience already knows, my boyfriend is now missing. And just like that, we're on our way to Athula, where we find nothing. So we're off to Vardos! Side note, I'm getting very sick of these planetary transitions. Thankfully this is the last one. Once landing in Vardos, we head to my old home, where decades earlier I'd been branded a traitor. Entering my old home, we unknowingly spring a trap that had been set by my old comrade. Thankfully, due to citizen unrest in the area, we're able to attempt escape. Also thankfully, I have my final 2 deaths of the playthrough. With the coast clear, we decided enough was enough, and headed to the main fleet destroyer, set on ending this mess once and for all. Before the destroyer is able to jump to hyperspace, we destroy a heatsink to allow us to stow away in the rear of the ship.
We're all gonna die.
Surviving the crash, we set off to find any intel that we're able to.
What is that?
With schematics in hand, we must find a way to bring the ship out of hyperspace in order to flee back to Rebel HQ.
Dio, you're up. Download the schematics for that ship. We need to bring it to Leia and the Resistance. Dio, slice into that computer. Reroute all reinforcements somewhere else.
Planting the detonator on the hyperdrive, the old traitor takes my daughter hostage to stop us.
That's the item I remember.
She tries to stop him and fails as she's cast aside. Avenging my daughter, I end the traitor's life. Turns out my daughter's fine, so we're off to find a ship to escape in. With the explosion of the detonators, we've successfully dragged the ship out of hyperspace. Unfortunately, my bones break under my own weight as I give in to old age at the worst time possible.
What's wrong?
Knowing this is the end, I say my parting words to my daughter.
Listen.
Informing Shriv on my mom's untimely death, we board a stolen TIE fighter and make for Rebel HQ.
Landing request denied.
Well, I said please. We brought you something, General. Schematics for the First Order.
Before we can rest, we're sent off on another mission.
We have allies in the Outer Rim. I need a team to go find them. Can you do that?
And with that, we have reached the end of my playthrough of Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017, as well as a continuation of the story Resurrection. Overall, the game was pretty good. I'd say a 7 out of 10. My only issue with it was that the romance especially kind of threw me for a loop, but the gameplay was fun enough. As someone who has closely followed Star Wars since I was a kid, I'd say a decent addition to the Star Wars canon. As far as the video itself, this is my first long playthrough video, and I feel in the future I may make some tweaks to the pacing of these types of videos, but for my first video like this, overall I was pretty happy and decided to see how it would be received before making any significant changes. As far as me talking to all of you guys, if you've made it this far and enjoyed, I ask that you leave a like. Please let me know what you guys think. This video took a very long time to edit, and my only goal was to provide some sort of entertainment for everyone. So, thank you all again so much. I hope y'all's day is a good one. See y'all later.
The Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together.
Where are you going, Master? For a drink?